Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 23rd of January, 2022. We're almost finished with January. I don't know about anyone else, but January literally always feels like the longest month of the year. Literally, like January could be a year in itself. So much ends up happening in that month. I've found lately that work has been a bit weird. There's been so many people around me who I know of or who I know personally who are resigning, leaving, switching jobs. So that's just been sort of top of mind of just moving with the flow of change, because I can't believe it. At least 3 people I know of have resigned in the last few weeks, and some of them even on the team that I'm working on. So it's just really close to home. It's just making me think about, you know, change in my own life and stuff, and has just really pushed me to be a bit reflective on what I want the year to be this year. And I see 2022 as a year of freedom. The word free comes to mind. In a lot of ways, this year will be free for me. I will be able to apply for residency on the 1st of March. That's huge because that fast tracks my residency plans in New Zealand by almost 3 years. So that's a huge milestone, because once I'm a resident, I'm not tied to any one particular job or temporary work visa. I actually have more right to stay in the country. And then after 2 years as a resident, you can become a permanent resident, which just means that you have now indefinite rights to enter and exit the country without any visas. I don't know if that's the long-term goal yet, but at least I know that this year I will apply to become a resident, and hopefully all goes well and that will be approved and I'll be a resident of New Zealand. Who knew 2.5 years ago, moving to New Zealand, that I would now be able to say to you on the 23rd of January that I'm gonna now apply for residency. So I'm really grateful to the government for doing this one-off residency for those of us who stayed during the pandemic. And it seems like a really nice way to reward us for staying, contributing to the economy here. Obviously, I've been contributing to the tourism industry here by traveling. You would have just seen this amazing trip that I was on, and even before then, all the trips that I've done. I'm really happy that I can really take advantage of this opportunity. So that's change in my life coming this year. Another change that's happened is I've ended my relationship. I'm not going to get into it because it is still quite fresh. I'm just going through a bit of a transition right now, bit of a tough time. This happens, ups and downs happen in life. You have to roll with it. Breakups always suck. I don't think there's necessarily an easy time with a breakup, even if it is with someone that, you know, maybe didn't treat you right. There still is a bit of hurt and pain there. Whatever may be the reason, breakups are not easy. Trying my best to stay positive, keep an open outlook on the year, because this is just the beginning of a new year. There's just so many more opportunities to this year. But moving right along, the other major thing I'm looking forward to in 2022 is the prospect of being able to travel. The government announced that perhaps at the end of April, we'll be able to expect the borders to open in a staged way with quarantine at home. We have not heard any updates on this in a few months now, but I'm still so hopeful that that's the case, that we're going to be able to leave and come back into New Zealand. Also, the most exciting thing is that means that people can come into New Zealand. And so my mother, Masha, can actually come visit me. She can come into New Zealand, potentially quarantine with me here in my flat, and then we can go and travel together somewhere internationally and travel to the places she wants to see in New Zealand. And it's just gonna be the first time in over 2.5 years, by the end of April, if that's still the date, that I can see and visit and hug my mother. And I'm already like at a heightened emotional state because I'm going through a breakup, but just the prospect of being able to see my mom after having been through this crazy once in a lifetime, sometimes not even, pandemic is just amazing. It's like the biggest hope that I've been given in the last 2 years. Because if you don't know, and maybe you don't, because some of you haven't been watching my channel for many years, but my mother and I, we are essentially best friends. We are so closely connected in our journeys in life that it has been a major challenge to be away from her, such a far distance as well. It was really important for me to go on this journey and discover what I needed to discover here on my own. And I am immensely proud of the fact that I have set up a life for myself all on my own as an independent single woman. Like, that in itself is so big. It's a huge accomplishment, and I just want to share it, and I want to be able to see my family, because that was never part of the plan, was to be kept away from family. And unfortunately that was an outcome of this pandemic, and there's been so many cases of this around the world, of people being away from their family, their loved ones, and there was nothing they could do. Because if I left New Zealand, I wouldn't be allowed to come back, and I wouldn't be able to have this opportunity of residency coming up in March. So everything happened for a reason, and I firmly believe that. But I am so elated that I get to meet my mother soon, and we can hug each other in person. And she's actually visiting for 8 weeks, so it's going to be the best time to just catch up, really connect again, and just be with each other in person. Who would have thought that me saying that is so significant in this day and age? But it's true. Like, virtual connection, chatting, texting, FaceTime only does so much. It's that personal, physical connection that I'm lacking at the moment. Especially now, while I'm going through such a hard time, all I want is a hug from mom. That's all I want. And I haven't been able to do that, and that's been really hard. But in times like these, I have to really pull on my strength that things literally could be so much worse, and that I acknowledge what I'm going through, but things could be worse. I love to just capture raw emotion like this, because this is literally how I'm feeling today, and I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. So there, you get every aspect of me today. But anyways, today is a Sunday fun day. Even though it's kind of a tough time for me right now, I think I'm doing really well at just acknowledging that life is good. There's so many things in life that I should be grateful for. This beautiful flat, a secure job, a safe place to call home in this country, and that I'm independent and free and have my free will. So I think the theme for this year, the overall gratitude, the overall affirmation of 2022 is freedom. To be free. Free spirit, free to have your own choice, free to love who you love, and free to be with those you love, and free to do what you want to do. I'm so stoked for this year ahead. And just the idea of being able to travel overseas and experience another country is just, I'm so grateful for that. And the day that I get to set foot on international soil, I will just be the most happiest girl in the world. That's the update for today. I'm about to get ready and go to the Sunday market. It's something I haven't done in many months. I really miss it. It was my routine as Wellington life a few months ago, and I let that part of me slip away, and I want to bring it back to what matters to Kyra. And today, Kyra wants to go to the market, and now we're talking in third person, so I really think I should go. So I'm going to show you the market. It looks a bit different nowadays because we are in COVID restrictions, different alert level stuff, but I'm still so happy that they're able to host this market. So let's do that, shall we?